wanted a tight series. That's exactly what they've got after game 2. Obviously, the Warriors even the series at 1-1. But Jalen Rose, question for you. Who's the 31st team in the National Basketball Association?
The Golden State Warriors in particular, because the one thing they've done the last handful of years, Jacoby, is when they get into halftime, Steve Kerr and his staff does an amazing job of making adjustments. Steph Curry, Klay Thompson, Draymond Green, the basketball knowledge, intellect, discipline. They seem to come out in that third quarter and treat it like you want every team to treat the first quarter. So many times we look at what's going to happen the last 2 minutes of an NBA game. 66% of the time when a team wins the first quarter, they win the basketball game. When you have a team like the Golden State Warriors that blitzes teams in the third quarter, that's just a mind-blowing dynamic. And if you think about it, so many times players and teams talk about winning the quarter, but you only got to win one. You only got to win one, especially when you're going to play like the Golden State Warriors did. And here's the thing. The Boston Celtics turned the ball over way too much, and they were forced turnovers. Yeah, they had 18, Jacoby, but 15 of those were steals. So what does that mean? Taking away the airspace of the Boston Celtics, forcing them to play in the crowd, forcing them to play with tempo. Steph Curry gets off to a great start scoring in both games. He leads the way. And then in the third quarter, the rest of the team starts to get confident.
Yep.
And then that's when Jordan Poole was able to start to get hot and make some plays. It was a great display of basketball by the 31st NBA team, the Golden State Warriors, in the third quarter.
Now, Jalen, we've been talking about the Golden State Warriors in the third quarter for, years, 6 or 7 years now. But one thing that was different about last night is they didn't just get hot shooting the ball. It was the way they locked up defensively. Usually when I think about the third quarter Warriors, I see the offensive side of the ball. Last night they were doing it with the defensive side of the ball. A lot of that had to do with Draymond Green, who had something to say about the way they approached game 2. Let's listen to Draymond Green.
Nah, we need that energy anyway. So for me to sit back and say, I'm going to push it to this edge and try to pull it back, that don't work. I got to be me. And so with the first tech, it is what it is. That's not going to stop me from being aggressive or doing what I do on the basketball court. Just got to live with the results.
Well, Draymond Green had his fingerprints all over this win. What is it that he brings to this team, especially when they need him to be physical and intense?
He's the anchor, right? See, the one thing about having the Splash Brothers is they're going to take and make shots from unlimited range. But you need somebody that's going to take the charge in court. That's Draymond Green. And the one thing about him is he's an equal opportunity agitator. I was sitting at the game and literally see him get into altercations with Tatum, Brown, Grant Williams, Marcus Smart, Al Horford, and I promise you, the Boston Celtics will be showing that footage to their team. And what they're going to say to their squad is, y'all let Draymond punk us. And after the first game, let's talk about the dynamic that changed overall. Al Horford ate Draymond Green's lunch in the fourth quarter in game 1. He made 6 threes, he made a baseline jumper, he got a couple of offensive rebounds, and he made Draymond Green virtually, he dominated Draymond Green. And so if you're Draymond, what do you do in the second game? Don't take 12 shots and miss 10 of them. Keep your shots down, keep your energy high, keep your defensive tenacity where it should be, because he's a replaceable player on their team. Yes, the Splash Brothers are obviously irreplaceable, but who up front can do what Draymond does? It was good to see Looney get a couple of baskets. It was great to see Gary Payton II return. Beliza gave him some good minutes up front, but Draymond Green was the person who was agitating, being the aggressor, being the defender, being the leader, being the toughness of the Golden State Warriors. And that guy was a catalyst for them tying the series.
You forgot one more Celtic that Draymond Green got into it with last night. Ime Udoka. At one point, they were going to commercial, and Draymond was talking to the head coach of the Celtics. You really felt like from the very, very jump ball that Draymond Green decided that he was going to bring the energy and the physicality that this team did not have in Game 1.
Thanks for watching ESPN on YouTube. For live streaming sports and premium content, subscribe to ESPN+.